Well, folks, he's back at it again. Just when you thought it was safe to put the Make America Great Again hat back in the attic, here comes Donald Trump with another controversial move. Donald Trump has decided to grace us with another round of his greatest hits, and by greatest hits I obviously mean horrifically misguided and potentially dangerous policy proposals. That's right, America, Trump is dusting off the old playbook and calling for, you guessed it, a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. Yes, in a move shockingly reminiscent of his early days in office, Trump has decided that the best way to address America's problems is to, once again, target a specific religious group. This time, he's promising a bigger, badder version of his infamous travel ban, affectionately dubbed Muslim Ban 2.0, because apparently when it comes to bigotry, the sequel is always scarier. Now I know what you're thinking, John, we've seen this movie before, it was terrible then and it's going to be terrible now. And you know what? You're absolutely right. But just because something is predictable doesn't mean it's not dangerous. In fact, the return of the Muslim ban should set off alarm bells for anyone who cares about basic human rights, religious freedom, and, not being governed by a man whose grasp on reality seems to loosen by the day. So buckle up, America, because we're about to dive headfirst into the dumpster fire that is Trump's Muslim Ban 2.0. And trust me, you're going to want to bring a fire extinguisher and maybe a hazmat suit. This isn't just a policy, it's a statement, a dangerous one that could have real-world consequences for millions of innocent people. The first Muslim ban led to chaos at airports, families being separated, and a wave of protests across the country. This new version promises to be even more draconian. So, as we brace ourselves for what's to come, let's remember the importance of standing up for what's right. Because in times like these, silence is not an option. The return of the Muslim ban should set off alarm bells for anyone who cares about basic human rights, religious freedom, and not being governed by a man whose grasp on reality seems to loosen by the day. So, buckle up, America, because we're about to dive headfirst into the dumpster fire that is Trump's Muslim Ban 2.0. And trust me, you're going to want to bring a fire extinguisher and maybe a hazmat suit. Now, for those of you who may have blocked out the dark days of the original Muslim ban, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. It was a time of great uncertainty and fear for many, as the new administration took swift and controversial actions. Back in 2017, fresh off his inauguration and fueled by a potent cocktail of xenophobia and executive orders, President Trump wasted no time in making his mark. President Trump signed a document that would come to define his presidency. This was not just any executive order. It was a bold statement of his administration's stance on immigration and national security. This executive order, which we'll generously refer to as Muslim Ban 1.0, barred citizens from 7 Muslim-majority countries, Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen, from entering the United States. The immediate impact was felt around the globe. The ban predictably caused chaos and heartbreak, stranding families, disrupting lives, and sending a clear message to the world. America was closed for business, especially if you happen to be Muslim. Airports became the epicenters of confusion and despair. Of course, the ban was immediately met with legal challenges, protests, and widespread condemnation. People from all walks of life took to the streets and airports to voice their opposition. Even the normally stoic legal scholars were moved to describe the ban using words like unconstitutional, discriminatory, and blatantly bigoted. The legal community was galvanized into action. The legal battle over the ban dragged on for months, eventually landing at the doorstep of the Supreme Court. The nation watched closely as the highest court in the land deliberated on this contentious issue. In a 5-4 decision that surprised exactly no one, the court upheld a modified version of the ban, arguing that the president has broad authority to restrict entry into the country. This decision was a pivotal moment in the ongoing debate over immigration policy. The decision, while technically a victory for the Trump administration, did little to quell the controversy surrounding the ban. The public remained deeply divided, and the protests continued. And now, with Trump threatening to bring back an even more extreme version of the ban, the fight over America's soul and its commitment to religious freedom is far from over. The legacy of the 2017 travel ban continues to shape the nation's discourse on immigration and civil rights. So, who's on the chopping block this time around? The anticipation is palpable, and the anxiety is spreading like wildfire. Well, Trump, in his infinite wisdom, hasn't released a definitive list of countries that would be targeted by his Muslim ban 2.0. The administration remains tight-lipped, leaving many to speculate and worry. But fear not, dear viewers, because we've got some clues. The rumor mill is churning, and some names are starting to surface. According to some reports, the new ban could expand on the original list, adding countries such as Eritrea, Kyrgyzstan, Myanmar, Nigeria, Sudan, and Tanzania. These nations could soon find themselves in the crosshairs. Now, it's worth noting that these are just rumors at this point. Nothing is set in stone, but the mere possibility is enough to cause concern. But given Trump's track record, it wouldn't be surprising if he decided to cast a wider net this time around. His previous actions have shown a clear pattern. After all, why discriminate against just a few Muslim-majority countries when you can discriminate against even more? The logic seems twisted, but it fits the narrative. And let's not forget about the enhanced screening and vetting that Trump has promised. This could mean more invasive procedures and longer wait times. Now, I'm not a security expert, but I'm pretty sure enhanced screening is code for making it as difficult as possible for Muslims to enter the country. The process could become a bureaucratic nightmare. It seems like Trump is determined to create a system where Muslims are guilty until proven innocent, subjecting them to endless scrutiny and suspicion. This approach only fosters division and fear. And that, my friends, is not just bad policy, it's downright un-American. We must remember the values that truly make this country great: inclusivity, diversity, and justice for all. Now let's delve into former President Donald Trump's vision for Palestinian refugees. His administration proposed a plan that aimed to address long-standing issues in the region. This plan included measures to improve the living conditions of Palestinian refugees, while also seeking to balance the interests of various stakeholders. The proposal, however, faced significant criticism and sparked intense debate among international communities. Critics argued that the plan did not adequately address the core issues or provide a viable path to a lasting peace. Despite these controversies, Trump's vision marked a notable moment in the ongoing dialogue about the future of Palestinian refugees. Joe Biden has taken a markedly different approach towards Islam and immigration compared to his predecessor. His administration has made efforts to reverse many of the policies that were seen as discriminatory. Biden's stance emphasizes inclusivity and respect for Muslim communities, both domestically and internationally. He has also taken steps to increase the refugee cap, signaling a more welcoming attitude towards immigrants. Despite these efforts, Biden has still faced criticisms and accusations of Islamophobia. Some argue that his policies have not gone far enough to address systemic issues. Others believe that certain actions and statements from his administration still perpetuate harmful stereotypes. It's a complex issue that continues to generate debate among various groups and individuals. Interestingly, there has been a noticeable lack of scrutiny on Trump's proposal to ban Muslims. Many feel that the media and political commentators did not adequately challenge the controversial policy. This lack of rigorous examination has led to questions about the role of media in shaping public perception and policy discourse. It's a topic that deserves more attention and critical analysis. The geopolitical implications of these differing approaches are significant. Biden's policies aim to rebuild alliances and foster cooperation with Muslim-majority countries. However, the long-term impact of these strategies remains uncertain. The world is watching closely, and the future is, well, anything but predictable. As global dynamics continue to evolve, the effectiveness of these policies will be tested in real time.